If you watched my last video about Western Australia's outrageous new firearm health assessment, then you already know that something's gone horribly wrong in this country, and you're not alone thinking that. Tens of thousands of Australians watched that video in the first 24 hours, and the most common response was confusion, outrage, and disgust, followed by one question. What do we actually do about it? Well, here is my answer. We vote. We vote strategically. And with pre-polling now open from April 22nd, so yesterday, this isn't something that we can just leave it for later. We need to understand how Australian preferential voting system actually works. So let's break this down. No jargon, no spin. In Australia, when you vote in a federal election, you just don't tick one box. You number every candidate 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the order that you prefer them. That's what's called preferential voting. And here is where most people stop paying attention. And this is where the system actually takes advantage. So this is your time to actually listen to this video. When they count the votes, the person with the least number ones is eliminated first. But your vote isn't wasted. If your first choice is knocked out, your vote moves to your next preference. If that candidate gets knocked out too, it keeps going all the way down the list until somebody wins the seat with over 50% of the vote. That's how the House of Representatives work. And where governments are formed in the Senate, it's the same system, just across multiple winners per state. And here is the kicker. You only need 14% of the vote to win a Senate seat. That means minor parties actually have a real shot. If people use their preferences properly, preferential voting gives you more power than you think, but only if you use it deliberately. And here is where most people go wrong. Most Aussies, even the well-meaning ones, make one big mistake. They vote their favourite minor party at number 1 and then go straight to one of the major parties at number 2. It sounds reasonable, right? Like you're backing your guy first and then hedging your bets. But here is the trap. You've just short-circuited the rest of the movement, because most minor parties get knocked out before the majors, and once a party is eliminated, well, they're gone. Your vote will move straight from your number 1 to the major party you put next, skipping all the other minor parties you also support. It's like loading one bullet, firing it, and throwing the rest of the magazine in the bin. Not because you meant to, but it's because of how you ordered your preferences. That's how we keep losing elections, even when we have the numbers. If we don't get smarter about how we vote, we'll keep cutting our own legs out from under us. So let's shift gears. Now that we understand how the system works and how people accidentally sabotage it, let's talk about how we can actually make this work for us. The goal isn't here just to, make a point. It is to change the outcome. So how do we actually do that? Well, it's simple. Start by ranking every good minor party first. Now, don't jump on me in the comments, but for example, One Nation, Family First, Shooters, Fishers and Farmers, whoever actually reflects your values, put them at the top. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whatever order that makes sense for you. Then, only then, after that, you give your next preference to the major party that you dislike the least. Maybe that's Liberal, maybe that's Labor, maybe it's even the Nationals. The point is, don't let them touch your vote until every decent minor party has had their chance. That's how we crack the safe seats, and how we swing the Senate results, and how we put pressure back on the parties that keep coasting. Politicians only listen when the ground beneath them shifts, and voting like this, with precision, is how we shake the ground. And if this breakdown has helped you rethink how to vote, let me know. Drop a comment or even buy me a coffee. The links are in the description. So I just want to clear the air really quickly about a few myths that are actually making some real damage. And it's time to actually kill those myths off. Myth number 1, well, it's all rigged, so why bother? The system might be flawed. Yes, the system might be flawed, but your apathy doesn't fix it. If only 10% show up to vote, well, that's 10% that only chooses the government. Boycotting doesn't collapse the system. It just takes you out of it. Myth number 2, voting for the minor party is a wasted vote. False, false, false. The only wasted vote is one that lets the majors off the hook. Voting minor sends a signal, and when enough people do it, it sends a shockwave. And if you're also finding this information useful, make sure you share it with somebody who's feeling just as fed up. The more people that understand this stuff, the harder it is for bad laws to sneak through. Now, I just want to quickly touch on donkey votes and dummy votes. Well, a donkey vote is when somebody just numbers the candidates from top to bottom without even thinking. A dummy vote is when you just scribble something on it, leave blanks, or even write none of the above. It doesn't get counted. To make sure that your vote is actually formal and gets counted, you need to number every single box in the order that you choose. And if you want to send a message, send it with your preferences. Number the candidates that you actually support. That's how your voice gets heard. So yesterday, Trophy Field released a great video with Joel Gemmell from Turning Point Australia. They put together a how to vote card for every lower house seat and the Senate race. So if that speaks to you, make sure you go check it out. I'll leave a link to the description where you can find this resource. Use it honestly as a starting point, but don't just follow it blindly. Ask real questions, the kind that actually matter. So for example, if you lived in Western Australia, where did your candidates stand when the Western Australian firearms health check were introduced? And across the rest of the country, who actually stood up for the cost of living? Who's actually speaking out about fuel, farming, food, security, and the digital ID agenda? Who's actually fighting for working Australians? And who's just cashing in on the paycheck and staying quiet? This isn't about party loyalty. It's about accountability. And if you haven't seen the issue that's hitting real people right now, the Western Australian Firearms Health Assessment Law, you need to, because this isn't theory. It's already happening. So watch that video next and you'll see exactly why this election matters more than most people realize.